Emily had rehearsed every possible outcome of the blind date arranged by her best friend, except the one she was living now. She sat at a candlelit table decorated with holly, surrounded by couples laughing, waiters carrying steaming plates, and soft Christmas music humming through the restaurant. Her dress was a winter blue velvet, her hands neatly folded, her heart foolishly hopeful. But her date, Michael, was 45 minutes late. And then he wasn't late anymore. Because he wasn't coming at all, she found out when a waiter approached with an apologetic look and said a message had been phoned in. He's not feeling a connection, so he won't be arriving. A connection? From what? Her name? Her profile picture? Her job as a school librarian? Emily felt the sting sharper than she expected. She didn't want to cry, Christmas lights blurred anyway as tears welled. She forced a small smile and told the waiter she'd be fine, but she wasn't fine. She felt humiliated. She felt like the only person who came to Christmas dinner without an invitation. She watched other couples toast, families exchange gifts, friends hug with warmth. It felt like the universe had skipped her on purpose. Trying to steady herself, she wrapped her hands around a warm mug of cocoa. She was thinking of leaving when a soft voice piped up beside her. "Hi, can we join you?" Emily blinked. Standing beside her table was a little girl, maybe 6 years old, wearing a red sweater with a reindeer stitched on the front. Behind her was a man in his early 30s, tall, worn down by exhaustion, worry, and something Emily couldn't name yet. He looked surprised, even embarrassed, that the girl had approached her. "I'm so sorry," he said quickly, placing his hands on the girl's shoulders. "Lily, sweetheart, you can't just, please," the little girl interrupted, her voice soft but hopeful. She looked sad. Emily's heart cracked open. It was the pure innocence in the child's eyes, the kind adults forget. The kind that sees pain others hide. The father exhaled heavily. "Really, I apologize. We were going to sit over there." He motioned to an empty corner table. Emily shook her head gently. "No, it's okay. You can join me." Her voice surprised her, it was steadier than she felt. "I'd love the company." Their relief was immediate. The little girl climbed into the seat across from Emily with the excitement of someone who had just saved Christmas. The father sat beside her, still apologizing, still adjusting to the unexpected moment. "I'm Daniel," he said, finally settling. "And this is my daughter, Lily." Emily introduced herself. Lily gasped. "Like the storybook princess." Emily laughed, genuinely for the first time that night, and so did Daniel. They talked. They shared. And in minutes, the awkwardness melted like snowflakes on warm skin. Emily learned that Daniel was a widower raising Lily alone. Lily had spotted Emily sitting alone and simply decided no one should be lonely on Christmas. Daniel confessed he tried to stop her, but she was a determined little elf. Emily opened up too. Told them about her blind date disaster. To her surprise, Daniel didn't laugh or pity her. He looked at her as if he understood. "Being rejected doesn't mean you're unworthy," he said softly. "Sometimes, it just means you're meant to be somewhere else." The words warmed her more than the cocoa. For the rest of dinner, they talked about Christmas traditions, silly holiday memories, Lily's obsession with drawing, Daniel's struggle balancing work and parenting, and Emily's love of reading stories to children at her school. Slowly, gently, something fragile but real started weaving between them: connection, comfort, and the unfamiliar sense that maybe this night was unfolding exactly how it was meant to. When the dinner ended, Lily hugged Emily tightly as if they'd known each other for years. Daniel thanked her for letting them join and hesitated as if wanting to say more, but didn't. As they walked away, Emily felt something she hadn't expected: gratitude that her blind date hadn't shown up. Because if he had, she never would have met them. But fate wasn't done yet. Chapter 2. For days after Christmas, Emily couldn't stop thinking about the little girl and her father. She tried to brush it off. They were strangers she met one night, that's all. But sometimes strangers leave footprints deeper than people you've known for years. She replayed the way Daniel looked at Lily with infinite tenderness. The way he listened to Emily, not distracted, not half present, but fully there. It was rare. It was warm. It scared her a little. Then, one snowy morning at the school library, Emily heard a familiar giggle echo through the shelves. She froze. "Miss Emily." Lily came running toward her, waving a crayon drawing in her hand. Behind her, breathless from running after a 6-year-old, was Daniel. They both looked just as surprised as she felt. "I didn't know you worked here," Daniel said, brushing snow from his shoulders. "Lily begged me to bring her to the library today. I didn't know it was your library." Lily proudly held up the drawing, the three of them sitting at that Christmas dinner table, smiling. Emily's heart wobbled. She didn't know what to say except, "This is beautiful." Daniel looked at her for a moment. A long, meaningful moment. "I've been wanting to see you again. But I wasn't sure if it would be inappropriate." Emily smiled, shy but sincere. "It's not." And that was it. That was the beginning. Over the next few weeks, they met again, sometimes intentionally, sometimes by accident, or so Daniel claimed with a grin that suggested maybe they weren't accidents at all. They took Lily to the park, watched winter sunsets, shared stories about past heartbreaks and future hopes. Emily slowly realized something: she wasn't afraid anymore. Not of being rejected. Not of being disappointed. Daniel and Lily didn't make her feel judged or compared. They made her feel found. One evening, while walking home after playing in the snow, Lily slipped her mittened hand into Emily's. "Are you gonna be my friend forever?" she asked. Emily swallowed hard. "If you want me to be." Lily nodded, satisfied. "Good. Daddy likes you." Emily's heart skipped. Daniel, walking quietly on her other side, coughed awkwardly. "Kids say things," he muttered, but Lily shook her head vigorously. "No, Daddy really likes you." Emily laughed nervously. Daniel covered his face. But later that night, when he walked her to her door, he didn't hide. "I do like you," he said softly. "More than I expected. More than I should, maybe. I just don't want to rush anything." Emily looked up into his eyes. "We don't have to rush. We just have to be honest." Snow fell softly around them. For the first time since his wife passed, Daniel reached for someone's hand. For the first time in years, Emily let herself hold feelings that weren't fear, and time, gentle, patient time, did the rest. Months later, Emily stood at another dinner table, this time with Daniel right beside her and Lily drawing Christmas hearts on napkins. There was no loneliness. No waiting for someone who wouldn't come. No pretending, just a little girl who believed no one should be alone, a father who learned it was okay to love again, and a woman who discovered that rejection sometimes pushes you exactly where you're meant to be. If fate hadn't abandoned her, it had simply redirected her, because sometimes, one tiny voice asking, "Can we join you?" is the beginning of a whole new life, and Emily never stopped believing in Christmas miracles again.